Hi all, it's CJ here. How you all doing? I thought I'd do a slightly different video today and talk about my I'm freezing, sorry. My journey with infertility. I've never spoken about it, not through embarrassment, I just haven't, and it does make me wonder if it's connected in some way with fibromyalgia. I have no idea, but the thing that you need to remember with my infertility journey is it was back in the 80s. Now, in the 80s, you had to be trying for a baby for minimum 2 years before a doctor would take you seriously and look into it. Now, me being the absolute idiot I am, didn't ever enter my head to lie and say we've been trying 2 years, because it's just something I wouldn't do. So I assumed that once you wanted to try for a baby, you did the deed, and you got pregnant. No, didn't happen for me. So we tried for a very long time. Eventually we got taken seriously, or I got taken seriously by a doctor, and I was sent for a lap and die, and that's where they go in through your belly button, and they put a blue dye through, and so that goes through your fallopian tubes, and don't come at me for the technical bits, because that's where I'm useless, but basically they put a blue dye through, and then they'll watch it go through your let's put it this way, all your baby making bits, and obviously when you have your period, we know it's red, it's blood. Well, it's just the oddest thing when you wake up and you have a sanitary pad in and it's blue. So I had the lap and dye done. LAP stands for laparoscopy, and had that done. I struggle to remember, because I've had so many operations, procedures, because I have multiple illnesses. Now, when they did the lap and dye, they discovered that I'd got endometriosis. Now, I can't remember which way round it was, but I always have to be the one that's different. I think it's normally found in the uterus, and mine was outside, or the other way round. Whichever way round it was, my endometriosis was in a different place to most people get it. Now, there was no, I'm trying to think back, I'm desperately trying to think back what they said they would do. But anyway, I had that done, and it all went through okay, other than so I've got no blockages in my fallopian tubes, but as I said, they'd found the endometriosis. So to cut it down a bit, I started trying for a baby in 1987. My son was born in 1997. So I always tell both my beautiful children that they should be 10 years older than they are, because it took 10 years, and that is a long, long, long time when you're desperate to be a mum. There was very, very little help available. We're talking the 80s. I can't even remember. Yeah, the internet was just coming around then, wasn't it? But it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything like it is today. And you just couldn't find out information. So I got about 6 years in of trying, and I was finally sent to see a gynae to see about being put on the fertility drug, and I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. Anyway, I went to see the consultant, sat down, explained everything, and he said, okay, fair enough, I'll give you a prescription for whatever the fertility drug is. He had his prescription pad in his hand, he had the pen in his hand, he was writing me the prescription. And then he said, oh, I see you're on antidepressants. I said, yes, I've got quite depressed whilst trying for a baby. And he stopped writing, put the pad and pen down and said, I'm not giving it to you. And I begged him, please could I have it, please could I have it. And he wasn't going to change his mind. He said absolutely no, under no circumstances can I give it to you. Excuse me, allergies. So no, wouldn't give it to me. So we got to the point where I decided that it wasn't going to happen, and adoption, I hear you cry. I would have been more than happy to adopt. I always wanted to feel what it would be like to be pregnant and to carry my own baby, but if that wasn't going to be possible, then yes, 100% I would have considered adoption. But again, back in those days, it was incredibly hard to adopt, and the process they put you through for adoption was horrendous. I started looking into it. I don't do anything without kind of researching things as much as I can first, and it wasn't going to happen. I did want to adopt a baby. It just really wasn't an option. We'd got 4 cats. That would have gone against us. All rescue cats. Our back garden, you had to go down some sort of steep steps to the bottom. Something like that would have gone against you for adoption. We both worked full time. Again, it goes against you for adoption. Even though you would, I was, it just wasn't possible. It wouldn't have been possible to adopt. So I'm an older mum. The fact that I've been blessed with a son and a daughter, I am so incredibly lucky. So lucky. Yes, it was 10 years of heartache, but the funniest thing was, we had our son, and I didn't ever want to have an only child, as I come from a big family. So I worked for 36 years, full time, and I'd had my firstborn. I'd gone back to work part-time, and I wanted to try for another baby. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I thought my son was a fluke, and I really didn't think it was going to happen again. Now, I was 36 when I had my son. So I'm working, decide I want to try again. My son was 2.5 by this time, something like that. So I thought, well, time is not on my side because of the old biological clock ticking. I thought, I've got to try now, because otherwise it won't happen. So it took 10 years for the first baby. I'm working, trying for a second baby. Took 2 months. 2 months. And I was throwing up. I apologise if you're eating. I was throwing up big time. Not just, they call it morning sickness, but I was throwing up all day. And I started showing very, very, very quickly. And I used to wear a suit for work. I was a PA, so I used to wear a suit and heels, and becomes very, very hard to conceal a pregnancy when you can't get in your suits and you can't get your jacket done up and you're throwing up. So I did the decent thing and I went in and I explained to my then boss what had happened. Now, I'd only been working at this company for a few months, and it was a small company. I went in, I told him. He was fuming. He was really, really cross with me. Excuse me. I could understand why. Completely understand why. But as I say, it was a very, very small company. There was nowhere to go for career reasons. And I said to him, I don't have to tell you this now legally, but I am telling you now I won't be coming back to work, because you had to go back to work within a certain time frame. I had no idea what I was going to do about childcare. I knew I would have to go back to work, but the job I was doing I knew I wouldn't be able to do with a newborn and a toddler. Pardon me. So when I told him, he was really, really angry with me, but he also said, we'd guessed. Could probably hear me throwing up in the bathroom, and it's you can't not be sick. It's like anything, isn't it? If you're going to be sick, you're going to be sick. I was trying to not rush from my desk to the bathroom, but sort of quite making it sort of as quickly as I could to the bathroom and trying to throw up really, really quietly. But a couple of months in, my then boss's daughter became pregnant, and he found out that I had told him the truth, and that legally I didn't have to tell him that I wasn't going back. I could keep my position open for quite a long time. Sorry, I'm expecting a call. For quite a long time. And I didn't think it was fair on them. They were a very small company, and I didn't think it was fair, because I knew I wasn't going back. I didn't want, to cause them any more grief than I already had. As I say, when his daughter got pregnant, he found out that I had been up front with him by telling him that I wasn't going back to, I wouldn't be coming back to work. So that way he didn't have to keep my job open, and it would allow him to employ somebody else after I'd left. But with both of my babies, I worked right up until the last minute, almost literally. I mean, you're trying to sit, I was very, very big. I carried out front, really, really big. From behind, you wouldn't know I was pregnant. And trying to get to your desk, reach your keypad was nigh on impossible. But I worked up until I was 8 months pregnant, and with my second baby. And she was 3.5 weeks early, bless her. Didn't you just love it? I'm thinking, great, I've got a month to sort out the nursery. It's 3.5 weeks early. So I think I'm useless with working out figures and dates and times, but basically I left my job on the Friday, and she was born just over a week into my time, and I had her early, but both my babies were early. But I don't know if I would say I wouldn't change any of it, because I don't know. I just think, sorry. I just think I'm incredibly blessed. I know I'm incredibly blessed. I have a lovely, lovely, caring, kind son. I have a beautiful, generous, kind, amazing daughter. And how many people that are desperate for children and haven't had them are there out in the world? And so, yes, I'm an older mum, but to my great surprise, I thought I would just be, they call it a geriatric pregnancy at 36. And then I was 39. Yeah, 39 when I had my daughter. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm in pain for a change. Yeah, just trying to think. I don't think I would change anything. There's other things I would much prefer to change, but won't go into that now. But that, in short, is my story of infertility. It was heartbreaking every month for 10 years to get that sign every month you're not pregnant. But it all turned out good in the end, because I am incredibly blessed. I really am. So I just thought I'd throw that one in. I don't know if anybody else with fibromyalgia has struggled to become pregnant or have had endometriosis. I'd be really interested if you have. I also wanted to apologise for saying if you want to click the button to thank me for my time, the previous video. My face feels this colour. I feel so embarrassed. I don't know what came over me to say such a stupid thing, and I really apologise. So I'm not going to ask you to do anything this time. Oh, please do just check you are still subscribed. I am being unsubscribed left, right and centre from a lot of YouTubers. So please just check you are still subscribed. And I will say nothing about the thumbs up button. Silence. So I just thought this would be a slightly different one this time. I will next video give you a complete and thorough list of the amount of illnesses that I have. I'm laughing and joking, but my back is on fire. Not literally, obviously, but so be kind to yourselves. Don't push yourselves. Don't work up to the last minute when you're pregnant. You've got to do what you've got to do, but be good to yourselves, okay? I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry this is a long video. Namaste from my 20 years of yoga. God bless. Take care. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.